Wow, this is shocking. Trump can do a Social Security executive order to increase benefits for every American. Take a look at this. It can increase benefits by 2% across the board for all Social Security beneficiaries and an additional increase of 5% for most of the elderly who have been receiving benefits for 15 years or more. Increase benefits to boost lower income seniors, as well as adjust the COLA so that it is not a measly and insulting 2.5%. Take a look at this. This is possible. Directly on the Social Security website, the National Commission of Social Security Reform was established by executive order of the president on December 16th, 1981. This is done by President Ronald Reagan 43 years ago via executive order. So a Social Security executive order is possible when Trump becomes president. I'm going to give you the details on how that can happen. Also, we're hearing more from Congress about Social Security.
Aren't you glad that you worked hard and invested and put your money aside so that you could find out that, yeah, well, what we're going to do is raise the age so you work longer. And as you're living longer, we expect that you'll get less in retirement, not more. It makes no sense whatsoever. We need to come together as a Congress and vote to enhance the nation's #1 anti-poverty program for the elderly and for our children.
I'm going to play the full video clip of that and give you some other important updates as well. Before I dive into the main content, if you appreciate these Social Security updates, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more Social Security updates. So when it comes to Trump getting in office, there is a lot of potential for increases for Social Security. Trump not going to go for a third term, so this is his second term as president, and he's going to leave a legacy. Compared to Biden, President Biden, at the moment, he has not done anything for Social Security. The last time he mentioned it, this is actually just a fact sheet from the WhiteHouse.com website. Basically, he says he's going to protect and strengthen Social Security. This is actually when Biden was the presidential candidate, which is probably the only reason why they put this out, because besides putting out information on Social Security, Biden did absolutely nothing for Social Security, saying the top thing, no benefit cuts. Of course, it's like saying, hey, you're my friend, so I'm not going to hurt you. That's the best benefit of being my friend. I'm not going to hurt you. Is that really what a friendship is about? No. You shouldn't say that the first thing you're going to do is no benefit cuts. That should be a given. Extending the solvency. He hasn't done anything for that. Improving financial security for seniors. Hasn't done anything for that. Ensuring that Americans can get access to benefits they've earned. Hasn't done anything for that. Biden has done nothing except for make things up. For example, this tweet that he said he was going to give $200 per month. This is also when Biden was candidate. He did absolutely nothing. So compared to Trump, Trump wants to create a legacy. He has nothing else to gain. He's not going to run for re-election halfway through his term. So the best he could do is increase Social Security benefits. Take a look at this bill right here. The Social Security 2100 Act probably has the most amount of benefits. I mentioned few at the top of the show, so increased benefits by 2% across the board for all Social Security beneficiaries. Change the COLA from the CPIW to the CPIE. That would result in a higher than the insulting 2.5% adjustment. By the way, the COLA adjustment at only 2.5%, how insulting and degrading is that? It should be a lot higher, especially since inflation is a lot higher. I thought the COLA was supposed to keep up with inflation, not be lower than inflation. If you're on Social Security, you deserve a lot more than that. It is ridiculous how the government is wasting money in other areas, spending money abroad, spending money on things that have nothing to do with the American people, when you on Social Security should be getting higher payments. Also, increase benefits to boost lower income seniors, improve benefits to widows and widowers, restore student benefits up to, all right, so also, yeah, there's a lot of things here. It's like 12 benefits. I'm not gonna go through all of it, but when it comes to Social Security and the potential executive order with Trump, He has the authority and the power to have an executive order. It has been done before. 1981, a Social Security executive order was done by Ronald Reagan. That means Trump can do it as well. When it comes to the Social Security 2100 Act, if you were to do at least a few of these benefits, like a 2% increase across the board executive order, let me know down in the comments below if Trump were to do a Social Security executive order in January of 2025, what type of Social Security executive order would you like? An increase across the board, higher payments, adjust the COLA, any of these, let me know. Well, a lot of these benefits, maybe we could see another partnership between a Democrat and Trump. As I shared with you 2 videos ago, Bernie Sanders and Trump having a potential partnership to increase Social Security benefits. As Bernie Sanders is praising Trump on certain things, could Representative John Larson, another Democrat, support Trump on a few things and get this done? As I showed you a video clip earlier on, that was Representative John Larson. I would say Representative John Larson and Senator Bernie Sanders are the 2 most vocal Congress members for more and higher Social Security benefits, enhanced benefits. So I'm going to play this video clip of Representative John Larson. If Trump could resonate with any of these increases and enhanced benefits that Representative Larson has, we could see a huge boost in Social Security. Take a listen to what Representative Larson has to say.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield myself as much time as I may consume, and want to start by acknowledging my good friend and colleague and thank him. I think his heart is in the right place. I think he's attempting, and let me say, having worked on this issue for a number of years, to have a Social Security, and in this case a portion of it, come to the floor, albeit under suspension and not through regular order, Mr. Speaker, is a step in the right direction. But the American people have got to be outraged by the fact that it's been over 50 years since Congress has adjusted Social Security. By that I mean enhanced Social Security for its recipients. Imagine that. And you think a few things have happened since Richard Nixon was President of the United States? Do you think a few things have happened, especially as we live in this post-COVID and now inflationary period? It impacts over 70 million of our fellow Americans. This provision that my colleague and good friend is talking about, WEP, is minuscule in terms of comparing that to individuals. And as well intended as I believe he is, this doesn't straighten out the problem. In our bill, Social Security 2100, we repeal WEP and GPO, and we pay for it. And that is the responsible thing that Congress has to do on behalf of the American people. Here's the facts. 70 million Americans rely on Social Security. And it's the nation's #1 anti-poverty program for the elderly, and the #1 anti-poverty program for children. More veterans rely on Social Security for disability than they do the VA. And Congress has done nothing to help these individuals out. Add to that, Mr. Speaker, the fact that 10,000 baby boomers a day become eligible for Social Security. What we need to do in today and in both of these bills that are come before us are steps forward, but we need to come together as a Congress and vote to fix Social Security in a manner that doesn't hurt or cut benefits for individuals that haven't seen a benefit enhancement in more than 50 years. And we come here today and say, here's a crumb. But even in the form of this crumb, this proposal will cut benefits for hardworking, everyday Americans. I respect my colleague, and I do believe that his heart is in the right place. But Congress, and both sides, have responsibility here. But perhaps now there is an opportunity for us to act. Perhaps the fact that even under suspension, not regular order with public hearings where viewers get to see and actually hear from expert witnesses and get to hear both the fiscal side of what needs to be paid for, but also the benefit side in terms of what has not been done. Imagine, my dear friend knows this, 5 million of our fellow Americans, and they're in Texas and they're in Connecticut, get below poverty level checks from their government. So it's great that you have a proposal for WIP, but 5 million people currently on Social Security get below poverty level checks from the wealthiest nation in the world and from a country that's had a program in place, but Congress hasn't acted in over 50 years. 5 million. Most of them are women, and most of them are women of color. Then there's more than 33 million, who the only benefit that they have, the only thing that keeps them out of poverty is Social Security. And Congress hasn't acted since 1971, and these people will be hurt by this proposal. Benefit cuts in a time of inflation. Ask your constituents back home, Mr. Speaker, whether or not they can afford this cut. Now, here's the other irony. Here we have one of the great economic development plans ever instituted by the United States Congress. That's right, an economic development plan, Social Security. How so? Every district on average has about 143,000 on average Social Security recipients. Every district monthly receives on average $200 million in cash coming into their district. In fact, my dear friend and colleague here, $222 million comes into your district on a monthly basis. And you have more than 95,000 retirees, 9,000 children who get money from Social Security, 10,000 widows, 4,800 spouses, and 14,000 disabled. And Congress has done nothing. Nothing. And these cuts that will take place because Congress hasn't stepped up and said, we need to fund this program, not cut it. Some may argue, well, you know, back in '83, they did do something. But yeah, what they did is they raised the age. Another great proposal on the other side. For every year you raise the age, that's a 7% cut in benefits. So let's raise the age to age 70, the Republican Study Committee says. And what does that do? Cuts benefits by 21%. Aren't you glad that you worked hard and invested and put your money aside so that you could find out that, yeah, well, what we're going to do is raise the age so you work longer, and as you're living longer, we expect that you'll get less in retirement, not more. It makes no sense whatsoever. We need to come together as a Congress and vote to enhance the nation's #1 anti-poverty program for the elderly and for our children. I respect the good intentions that people have, but as they say, the road to hell oftentimes is paved with good intentions. And in this case, though, let's not talk about the parties. There's a lot of blame to go around here. How about we focus on the people, the American people, who we take an oath of office and swear to serve. And staring this Congress in the face is over 50 years of inaction and 70 million people who are impacted by this in what is the nation's #1 anti-poverty program for the elderly and for our children. I reserve my time.
The gentleman from Connecticut reserved.
Let me know down in the comments below what you think of Representative Larson. And that is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully cheer you up a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
The one thing for the tip of the day, be glad what you have, because I might not be there, because if you really wanted something and now you don't like it, you have to take a chance what you had before, because I might not be there. So that's the last tip of the day that I wanted to give. Bye, it's Bella.
Big payment coming to Social Security recipients. Click this video over here and I'll see you